So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So we got the Twitter reveal for the after party batch and it's going to be Marineford again. Well, we don't get it every time like before now, so I'm not too bothered. And we're getting a new versus unit and a new duo unit, so that's pretty exciting. Whitebeard versus Blackbeard and Shanks Buggy duel. At least Shanks Buggy duel has been waited for a long time, so that's dope. And Whitebeard versus Blackbeard, well, finally regular versus units, I guess. So let's take a look at them. We're going to look at the PvE stuff, since that's what's really interests me. We start with Whitebeard. And, well, I will probably look at PvP individually later. Let's start with versus. And yeah, Whitebeard, Psy, Powerhouse, Striker. As you can see, we have the Super Tandem Final Tap thing going. Whitebeard will have the Super Tandem, Blackbeard will have the Final Tap. I was hoping that Whitebeard will have had a Final Tap, and they made it so this versus Whitebeard worked with the Dex Whitebeard we got a while back, who has Super Tandem, but yeah, we just got the second Super Tandem Whitebeard in a very short time, so very odd indeed. But as for the special, 1 million damage to all enemies, ignoring all defensive effects, death, and non-normal attack deal 1 damage effect. So another unit who deals damage to normal attacks only, which is very useful, especially for stuff like treasure map and such. Sets all slots, including block 2 tandem, and you get that chain boundary for 3 turns, starts at 2.75 times and goes up to 35 times, so it's not the best ever, but it's pretty decent, for sure. 3 turns as well. If cruise HP is 50% or above when special is launched, you get an 80% HP cut after 1 turn, but boosts Psy and Powerhouse character's chain multiplier growth rate of normal attacks up to plus 0.6. So, yeah, it's basically the buff that the last anniversary got. After party with Law and Kid, it's what I call, at least, for the increased chain growth rate. So that's pretty good. You can get a lot of chain buffs with Blackbeard, which is nice for sure. It does feel like his special lacks a bit though, like it's just damage, but yeah. It is what it is. It's good for what it is. Captain ability, Psy and Powerhouse get -1 CD. Psy and Powerhouse gets 1.5 times HP. You get a 5.75 times attack boost when you have low HP, otherwise 5.5 times attack boost. So yeah, pretty good attack boost for sure. Makes tandem slots and matching slot effects. You have a higher chance of getting tandem orbs. You can't be blown away, and you reduce the spear by 10 turns. So yeah, some pretty good effects, like blow away can be valuable. The spear resistance is obviously very good, and yeah, the numbers are solid. Not much to complain about. It can't be blown away as a sub either. And he makes side decks tandem slots and matching slot effects, which is very nice. Just need a Powerhouse class captain. The final Super Tandem, actually pretty decent. This is what the other Blackbeard we got, Whitebeard, should have got. Like, you just need 2 characters here. You need 1 general Powerhouse or Striker, and then 1 specific unit, which is a lot more realistic than needing 2 specific units. That effect is a bit whatever though, like you get the 2 times attack boost tandem to Psy and Powerhouse, and -20% Powerhouse resistance for 1 turn. Like, it's not bad, but it's definitely not one of the best super tandems, but it's actually usable, unlike the old Whitebeard we got earlier, Dex Whitebeard. Versus effect, and this made me happy, they finally changed versus effects. That's the good thing. Like, the good thing is that You can either consume tandem orbs or hit perfects. Both of those counts as 1. And if you do hit a perfect with a tandem, it should count as 2. So that's good. The bad thing is that 24 is overly excessive. I don't know why they went that high. Like, if it was 12, it would have been amazing. Like, yeah, it's a shame that they nerfed it a bit, but I'm happy that they are at least trying to get creative with versus specials and not just consume orbs. So that's very good. Reduce damage reduction by 3 turns and boost the color affinity of Psi and Powerhouse by 2.5 times for 3 turns. Very good damage, and it's for 3 turns too, so can't complain at all. Let's look at Blackbeard now, since they are together basically. They are pretty similar to each other with some differences. Blackbeard will be Dex, Powerhouse, and Driven. So both share Powerhouse, of course, and some class differences, but both are Powerhouse. Whitebeard is Psi, Blackbeard is Dex. As you see, the specials have very similarities. They both do the same damage. They both give you a full board of tandem orbs, but then we get some changes, like Whitebeard does the chain boundary and increase chain growth rate with his special. Blackbeard instead does an orb boost for 3 turns, 2.5 times, and he also does a base attack boost based on your HP. And I have to say, like always, base attack, they put the values too low. They need to be higher to really matter. And like, you don't get a lot of extra for being low HP here, which is insane in my book. Like, I don't know why they keep doing it, but we still get very low base attack boost. As for the Captain ability, -1 CD for Dex and Powerhouse, 1.65 times HP, up to 5.75 times attack boost at low HP, tandem matching, boost chance of landing on tandem. So all of that is basically the same as Whitebeard, just higher HP, but you get a 10% HP cut every turn, which doesn't have to be bad. Like, you can avoid stuff like confusion and stuff. But if you're inflicted with the spear, and they write it very confusing here, like, if inflicted by the specials that makes you get the spear, that doesn't exist in the game right now. Like, maybe some of the batch get it, will make sense. But the big deal here is that if you get the spear in any way, most commonly from the enemy, then you will remove it. It doesn't say that it removes it here, but rather than remove it, you never even get the spear. That the spear you're going to get is changed automatically to a 1.2 times chain multiplier boost. So that's pretty neat. We got a video on the JP side of things where the enemy just gives Blackbeard a chain multiplier boost. It looks very weird. Like, you don't even get the spear on the screen. It's just never applied at all. So that's very strong, of course. Not just resist the spear, you never even get it, and you get a buff instead. That's really strong. That's also big in stuff like support. Like, if you have a support that procs on like Bind and the Spear, final stage has Bind, stage 4 has the Spear, you can keep that support to stage 5 since you never get that Spear in the first place. That's really cool tech that might see some use. Crewmate ability, base attack 100, and same as Blackbeard, side X tandem matching. Yeah, it's fine. Final tap applies -50% dex resistance to all enemies and make characters' normal attacks hit all enemies for 1 turn. Pretty much whatever. Like, the good thing here is that even level 1 is useful. You hit all enemies. Not super common, but if it happens, you get the benefit. Like, yeah, you do a bit more damage with the max level 5, but yeah. It's a nice bonus if you're able to run it, but not vital by any means. Versus effect, it's the same as Whitebeard, but yeah, you remove Death Up instead of Damage Result, I think it was. And Dex and Powerhouse gets the color affinity. Yeah, Interesting unit, strong general, has some cool stuff going for it. Pretty cool hybrid to run as well, like you get a lot of different buffs together for 3 turns. So yeah, I have no big complaints really. It's not the best unit ever, but definitely worthy of being like the anniversary after party. If we move on to Shanks and Buggy. There we go. Shanks and Buggy. Slasher, Driven, Psy, and Dex. The same colors as Blackbeard and Whitebeard. This is a pretty funny thing where neither is powerhouse, but Shanks himself is Slasher for Cerebral, so he ends up being boosted. Psy Slasher Cerebral, so he ends up being boosted by Whitebeard. And Buggy is Dex, Slasher, and Driven, so he ends up being boosted by Blackbeard. So kind of weird, like classes are not boosted, but the colors are boosted. So like Shanks' Psy is not boosted by the Dex Blackbeard, and vice versa for Buggy and Whitebeard. But it is what it is. It's not often we get that, but so they have a final tap and a special limit reducer. Special reduces paralysis attack down by 7 turns. Locks orbs for 1 turn, always a nice bonus. Psy and Dex get 2.5 times call affinity for 2 turns, and becomes Shanks and Buggy for 3 turns. So yeah, pretty decent utility, but the call affinity is a bit whatever, at least for now. But if you have a type boost that lasts 2 turns or less when special is launched, you boost the call affinity to 2.75 times. So if you have like any support, like an end of last stage support, for example, you use this special, it automatically gets buffed to 2.75 times. But if you have a 3 turns call affinity boost, like from Whitebeard or Blackbeard's versus special, then you buff it by plus 0.75. So that's a 3.25 times call affinity. Not bad at all for sure. Captain ability, not going to lie, pretty bland. Speed on Captain at least, -2 CD, which is nice. Psy and Dex, 5.25 times attack, 1.2 times HP. Psy and Dex get 1.1 times call affinity. Kind of makes sense. Call affinity focus special, call affinity focus captain. So makes them good versus Psy and Dex versus int and quick content, I should say. Makes crew side Dex 10 slots and matching slot effects. You heal with perfects at the end of every turn, and if you use a special to boost type effects, you extend it by 1 turn. So if you use Shanks and Buggy as captain and use their special, you get a 3 turns call affinity. So that's pretty dope. Makes Psy and Dex characters 10 slots and matching slot effects. Like it makes sense to make them work by themselves. They also get base stats 100 for Psy and Dex. The swap and super swap is honestly pretty whatever, in my opinion. Normal swap, you change own slots including block to tandem and applies -50% Psy and Dex resistance to all enemies for 1 turn. Tandem swap is really good otherwise. The main issue is that there's not really a lot of super tandem units to use with Shanks and Buggy right now. Not that in my... Like, there's probably 1 or 2 that I just can't remember right now, but that's obviously really nice since you can potentially use the super tandem every turn, guaranteed, which will definitely be nice. Well, probably the new Whitebeard, of course, but I mean, apart from the new one. But that's definitely a nice bonus. As for the super swap, you change both characters' own slot and adjacent, including block, to tandem and get a bigger resistance, -30%. Yeah, it's fine. Like, it's not a bad swap, it's just a bit boring. Final tap, it's basically the Dex final tap law, but stronger. There's no requirement with HP or such. You still get the death down conditional, self-proc final stage. Bit higher than law 2, I think. Or it's a bit lower, actually. I think law is 2.75 times, maybe. But you also get a base attack boost that basically makes up for it. So yeah, it's fine, but it's not like we use Final Tap Law all the time. So yeah, it's not a super big deal in my opinion. But yeah, overall, pretty decent batch. I won't be pulling, but I look forward to trying them. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.